Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining for our first session for the non-science-based program preview. So in this program preview, we will have a variety of speakers. Let me introduce each and every one of them. Mr. Muhammad Boni Lopez, the Deputy Head and of Faculty of Business, Accounting and Management, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Mr. Lopez? Just double checking.
Yeah.
Yes. Ms.
Okay.
Hana Yahya, are you here? It's not here yet. Ms. Noor Aziana from the Faculty of Communications and Creative Design.
Good morning, Zairi.
Morning.
It's Dr. Chong here. Maybe can wait for another 5 more minutes for the participants to come in.
Okay.
Hi, good morning, Maui. Good morning, everyone. I think we should start in maybe another 3 or 5 minutes. I think some of the speakers might be a little bit late together with the students. Can we?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Zairi.
Good morning.
Is it possible to brief us a little bit of the format of today's meeting?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So basically, I will introduce each and every one of you in your respective programs. Then I will ask the questions directed at each program representative.
Oh, okay.
These are the questions directly sent by the students and by the
Okay.
surveys.
Okay.
And then
Okay, sure.
I'll have an open floor where any participant, any student can ask questions. If there are none, then I'll just start with my own random questions.
Okay, sure. They have asked the questions after reading the slides, right?
You mean watching the videos?
After watching the videos, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Morning, Dr. Lydia.
Good morning,
The-
Dr. Chong.
The students have actually watched the video. So we are not going to run the video here one more time. The students actually have already watched the video and they have posted their questions through a survey form that we gave them earlier. So today's session is mainly on the Q&A for the questions that we have collected, and
Sure.
the Q&A is also open to the floor for students who come in and ask questions.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
How many are you expecting today, students?
We are expecting around 50 and to 60.
Oh, okay.
But I think some are not in yet. But we have just sent a reminder again. Hopefully more will come in a while.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Ms. Asiana just came in.
Zoom eh. Sana.
Oh, there's a change. Okay. Let's see. Dr. Chong, do you see this? Dr. Chong? Oh, welcome, Lovisha. Thank you for joining. Okay, Lovisha, and any other students currently in here, while we're waiting for the lecturers and speakers from the other programs, basically, after I've introduced them, I'll ask them a few questions sent directly by other students. I'll open up the floor. Right? I will open up the floor, meaning that any student can come in and ask any question directly to the representatives. Anything. Right? Let's say, Lovisha, what do you want to ask about? Take the rock. Like career, potential pay, what are the requirements? Can I get a PTPTN loan, right, for that program? You can ask that to the representatives here. You can see the list here. Yeah, these individuals, about 9 people, representing their programs. More and more coming in. Dr. Chong?
Hi, Zari, I think we can start.
All right. So I'm already recording. Sorry, it's okay. So good morning again, everyone. Thank you for joining the first session for this program preview. Now, just a quick introduction. The program preview allows for representatives from different potential degree programs that is available for our Center for Pre-U students to attach to or to go into after completing their foundation. So if they have any question, any confusion, or maybe they're just uncertain of what to do once they're done with foundation, right, or pre-U, this is where they can meet all of the representatives from each program, available program. And who are these individuals? Allow me to introduce to you each and every one of them available today. Mr. Boni Locas, from the Deputy Head for the Faculty of Business, Accountancy, Communication, and Hospitality Management. Ms. Hana Yaya, a lecturer from the same faculty. Ms. Noor Aziana, same faculty, a lecturer from the same faculty. And Ms. Rubana, Deputy Head of the Faculty of Business, Accountancy, Communication, and Hospitality Management. So it is a combination of a few. Then we have Mr. Farhan. Are you there? Please say hi, Mr. Farhan.
Hi, morning.
Yes. Hi, morning. He is the lecturer from the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment, and IT. So if you have any questions about IT, you can ask Mr. Farhan. Ms. Bashira, also a lecturer from the Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment and IT. Mr. Xiao Sun Long, Deputy Head, Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment, and IT. Now, you notice that there are many individuals here who represent the same faculty. Each and every one of them are more specialized in explaining about specific programs. right? If you notice in the poster that we have sent to all the students weeks ago, each faculty will have their own specialist programs, right? And these individuals can help you explain each and every one of them if you have any questions. So if you have any questions, don't be shy, right? Just ask about career prospects, about potential pay in the future, what are the requirements? Can you get a loan for it? Are there any scholarships available for that program? Ask. This is your chance. Right? Moving on, we have Associate Professor Dr. Lydia Fong, the Dean for the Faculty of Education, Languages and Psychology. And of course, Mr. Ismawi, Deputy Head for the Faculty of Education, Languages and Psychology, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question. Yes. If you're not sure how, just go to your bar down here. You can go to chat. You can ask. We recommend asking directly through a microphone, right? I believe there is a feature here that allows you to raise a hand. One moment. Not sure. Okay, never mind that. You can ask directly in the chat or through microphone. So I assume that all of the students here has watched the videos. Right? All the videos are short summaries of the programs available to you under the non-sciences category. All right? So let me begin with the questions sent in by the students. These are the questions sent in by the students. All right, so here we have Rashid. Rashid asked the questions directly related to the Bachelor of Mass Communication, Bachelor of Arts, English and Public Relations. The question here reads, right now I'm torn in between pursuing either a mass communication degree or an English and public relations degree. What are the main differences between them?
Maybe can Mr. Ismawi try to explain what the BPR is, and then followed by Miss Rubana on the mass communication degree. Mr. Ismawi, please.
Sure. Thank you for the question. Okay, so my name is Ismawi. I'm the Deputy Head for the Bachelor of English and Public Relations, so part of the Faculty of Education, Languages and Psychology. Right, so this program is a bit unique. It is based on the mass communication field, but a bit more specialized on the English language. So the difference is, if you are somebody who is fluent in the English language, who is a very natural language speaker, you can actually use this ability when you graduate, something that you can offer to the industry. And in order for you to do that, having this degree will take into account your ability to fluently speak and write in the English language, and apply that skill in the industry, in the public relation industry. So the mass communication, I think I will let my colleague explain later. But in general, English and public relation focuses on the English language aspect of communication, with the public relations modules being complementary to the English language. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ismawi. And what about the mass communication degree?
Ms. Rubana, would you like to explain? Ms. Rubana, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the student wants to know between mass comm and mass communication is actually more into communication, and we have specializations in journalism, broadcasting, and also public relations. Okay, so if you are looking into this, is not much of English as per se, not language. But then if you're looking into a career or journalism, or a career as a writer, okay, then probably you want to consider doing mass communications.
Thank you, Ms. Rubana. Now,
Yes.
if you have any more detailed questions, you can, of course, directly go to the faculty or ask your counselor. Of course, this session will be recorded and be uploaded in our YouTube channel. You can just go to the YouTube channel, go to the same playlist where you watch all these videos, and will be uploaded there later on. All right, let's move on to the next question. For the Bachelor of Education program, how do we apply for a SEGI scholarship from Foundation, assuming we do well enough to qualify for it? By Karen.
Okay, Mr. Yogesh, are you around? Would you help answering this question, please?
Hi, good morning to everyone.
Morning.
Okay, yes, we those who have completed foundation with minimum 3.5 CGPA, 3 and 5.0 above. So you can apply for HAS. HAS meaning the High Achiever Scholarship offered by SEGI University. So the 3.5 will be able to give you like 50% scholarship. So the 50% scholarship applicable on tuition exam fee. So later I will show the exact details on the on the scholarship details.
Will there be all, Ms. Yogesh? Anything you'd like to add?
Show in detail. Actually, I have a slide for it, and later I will show more on it.
Okay. I think we have time. Right? Is it okay for us to show the slide for now, Dr. Chong?
Zareen?
Yes.
There seems to be a black box there. We can't see the screen.
You mean the video screen?
Yeah, there's a black big box.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it's just me. You saw it
I'm
too.
trying to read the question and the thing is blocking the whole thing.
Okay, let me change this sharing setting. Okay. How about now?
Still there.
Still there.
How about now?
Still there.
Still there. Now it's shrink, but it's still there, but it's shrunk to a smaller box.
What about now?
Oh, I think it's better now. Okay, I saw it. Okay, I saw it as well. I thought it's only me.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I thought it's only me too.
So it's actually the screen on the other side.
Is it better now?
No, it's big again. I think you need to do something just now that you managed to shrink it. Okay, now it's by the side. Now it's better. It's at least not blocking the center.
Because this box is actually a video of all of the participants.
Why
yes.
is it in black? It's
Not
black.
sure.
We can't see anything.
Zaini, are you sharing screen or are you sharing the app?
Sharing screen.
The whole screen, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's
may
why.
try to share the apps.
Share the Microsoft Word only.
Software only. Okay. How about now?
Still there.
Still the same.
I'm sharing the Microsoft Word. Okay, what about this one?
Maybe you need to close and open again, I think.
I think, Zareen, you need to unshare and share again, but this round don't choose share screen, you choose share document. Sorry everyone for the glitch.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so you just have to restart. All right. Since we have time, Mr. Yogesh, would you like to share your slides?
Hi. Yes, sure. Just give me a moment. Okay. I think the admin must allow me to share the screen.
Okay. I'll stop sharing now.
All right.
All right. So here we have Mr. Yogesh representing more details on how to apply for and what are the requirements for the scholarship.
Okay, straightforward. I will skip the other slide. So straight away to the scholarship details. All right, if you look at here, those who have scored those who have completed foundation arts in with minimum 3.5 CGPA, eligible for 50% rebate on yearly tuition fee, meaning to say tuition exam fee will be waived on yearly basis. Okay, 50% for the entire program. So those who have scored 3.75 above, okay, eligible for 75% scholarship. God grace, those who have scored 4 flat 4.0, eligible for 100% scholarship. 100% scholarship meaning to say it will cover tuition exam fee. All the miscellaneous fees still need to pay, like enrollment fee, security deposit, facility fee, and also the external exam fees. Okay, the requirement for the HAS scholarship, very straightforward. There's two main things your student need to be informed. Scholarship recipients shall maintain high academic result of at least a CGPA of 3.7 every year to be entitled for the scholarship at degree level, meaning to say it based on annual basis. It's not by semester, but if you look at the median, definitely student cannot score lesser than 3.7 for each semester. So your annual CGPA must be 3.7 and above, okay, for the continuation. Okay.
Yeah.
So the second one will be scholarship recipient must also contribute to SEGI's university's activities, including participation in promotional activities for up to 5 hours per week during their studies at SEGI University. Meaning to say, we have a student affairs department and registry will take care of it, and they will be engaging with the student as and when the need rise. They will live with the student, and student need to so-called work for them. Maybe it's like some clerical work, some data keying, something like that. So this is the two term and condition that student need to be informed. Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Yogesh.
All right.
Well, let's move on to the next question.
Hi, Zyrene, there's a question in the box from Karen.
All right, yes, I noticed. All right, Karen has an extended question, I believe for education, for education. Thanks for answering my question. May I add one more? If we start a Bachelor of Education degree full-time, 3 years, is it possible to swap and become part-time, 5 years, or vice versa, halfway? It's in the chat, yes. So
your guest, you'd like to answer that? Would is this following from a scholarship question? Can a scholar do it part-time?
Okay, for scholarship, it's only for full-time scholarship, full-time program. Part-time, we don't have a scholarship for it.
All right, thank you. All right, let's move on. A question for the Bachelor in Accounting and Finance. How many semesters per year? By Vanessa Lee.
Miss Hannah?
We have 3 semesters a year. Sorry, I'm just replying on behalf of Hannah. We have 3 semesters a year, 2 long semesters and 1 short semester.
2 long, 1 short.
Yep.
Okay. And for the same faculty, same program, do we have exemptions for the ICAEW examinations after completing this course?
We are working on the exemptions for ICAEW. We haven't got approvals yet. So once we have approvals, we will notify the Bachelor of Accounting and Finance students. Yes, so we will have, but not now. But we are hoping to get it by the end of the year at least.
End of the year. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a little slow with all the lockdown. So we are waiting for ICAEW to come back to us.
I see. All right. So now a question from Shan Swan. When is the simulation lab estimated to be done?
This is also a work in progress. We cannot do anything now because there is a tie-up between SEGI and also another company. We are still working on the agreement part of it. So once we have finalized it, we should have the simulation lab running.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes.
Now, here are a few more questions for Mr. Boni Lopez.
Hi,
Mr.
hi.
Lopez? Hi. This question asks, how will my career prospects be affected by the current pandemic?
Okay, just to put it very easy, I'm sure there's a lot of media, a lot of notice, a lot of announcement in the media on hospitality per se when it comes to be affected by this pandemic. But eventually it will blow away, right? We also have a lot of data that we receive. One in particular is actually from MA, Malaysian Association of Hotel. We are also part of associate member of MA. So they do send us every week details around the world, what is happening to the tourism industry. Eventually, certain countries have already opened, and hopefully when we reach the herd immunity on the vaccine, the travel prospect would actually open up. Yes, it's not going to be 100% normal. I mean, there are certain SOP to that. But then again, this would also affect other industry besides hospitality per se, manufacturing, banking, any other business. It is not just hospitality per se. But just remember, fellow students, that the three things, most important thing that you need in life: food, shelter, and your clothing. The first two, shelter and food, will always be there, in regardless of what you are working. People need to eat, people need to stay. You know, you go to Penang, if you don't have a relative, you have to stay in a hotel. So eventually it will open up, but with strict SOP, and it will not be the normal current thing that we are practicing before the COVID. Eventually it will bounce back. It will bounce back.
Can you give us a time estimate? When would a career in hospitality and tourism be viable again?
It was brought up to in PATA, there's another association, right? A Pacific Hotel Tourism Association. They predict more or less 1.5 years to 2 years that it will blow off in Southeast Asia per se lah. But then again, that is just a prediction. It's also based on the current event, the numbers rising and everything, vaccine. It's also depending on the government restriction, borders to be open. Certain countries have already opened their borders. Students are also flying out to UK, US. My nephew is flying tomorrow to US. I mean, US is already opening up. Malaysian students can go back. UK people are flying out. So education-wise, flying, a lot of airlines are starting to open up already. So it depends on the restriction on the government, individual country.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Lopez. Next question is for the Bachelor in Business Management. What are my career prospects currently? It's a very general question. Right. Oh, actually, yes, it's a question. We do have an impromptu question from John. Hi, I have a question for fallback. For digital marketing, is it a single elective or is it under general management? How about the study duration and the fee for it? So there's 2 questions. How do we need to pay for every month? There's 3 questions. What job can we get to do after degree? Can we get easily for internship? Is this certificate being recognized? So it's in the chat. It's quite a long question. So I believe this falls under business management.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The first question was, sorry. Wait, just let me have a look at his questions again. Okay, for digital marketing, is it a single elective? Yes, it is a single elective. It is separate from general management. So it's an elective by itself. Okay, how about the study duration? There is no change in the study duration. The whole program, Bachelor of Business Management, is a 3-year program. So in your final year, which is in year 3, you will do specialization subjects, which means you will do digital marketing related specialization subjects. So there's no extended duration. So it's still 3 years. And fee for it and how we need to pay. Do we have a marketing, maybe a marketing staff can take this on? Ken,
Mr.
I'm not
Yogesh?
sure. Yeah. It's okay, I'll just continue and we'll come back to the fee portion. What job can we get to do after degree? Any marketing related job, not necessarily it must be digital marketing. Digital marketing is actually the trend now. Okay, so that's why we have changed our specialization from a normal marketing management to a digital marketing. But you can get into any marketing related job. And can we get easily for internship? The Bachelor of Business Management program does not have an internship built into the program. So if you're talking about internship after completing your studies, then yes, our students, 90% of our students actually get employed after graduation. So I don't think that's an issue.
90%?
Yes.
Oh, that's very high.
Yep. So it's because it's a business degree and a lot of companies, of course, they need business degree students.
Mm-hmm.
And is the certificate being recognized? Yes, we've already got MQA recognition. The program has been running for more than I think 12 years, if I'm not mistaken. So we've already got our renewal certificate as well. So I don't think certification is an issue here. So if let's say we prefer to choose marketing subject in degree, is marketing included for both marketing and digital marketing? I'm not sure whether I don't quite understand what you are asking, but digital marketing and marketing has got no difference. Okay, it's just a different way of doing marketing. So in your year 3, you will be learning everything related to marketing, whether it's digital or whether it's just basic marketing management. You will be covering all this in year 3. So it means for business subject, they didn't have intern. So we get to work after degree ends. Yes, business program is not a business subject. It's the whole program. Bachelor of Business Management does not have an internship. Okay, students do not need to do an internship. They need to complete their studies in 3 years. After 3 years, you can pursue your career already. You can go out to work. So maybe Yogesh can answer his queries about the fee.
Yes, Mr. Yogesh?
Yes, definitely. Okay. The total fee. Okay, this digital marketing, it comes under Bachelor of Business Management. So the fees will follow Bachelor of in short, we call it as a BBM. So total fee is 56,000 plus with the external exam fee comes up to 60,000. This is before any discount and so on.
All right, thank you, Mr. Yogesh. Will there be any questions for business management? Or should I move on? I think I should move on for now. Now, it's a question for the Bachelor in Multimedia Design. How has the current work environment, I think it got cut off, but I think I can finish it off. How has the current work environment affected job prospects for this program? Yeah, basically, the student wants to know if the current pandemic has affected career prospects for multimedia design. So, okay. Anyone?
Yep, it's Ms. Aziz here. Yes. So for creative department, executive design department, especially for multimedia design, how has the current work environment affected? So the question is asking about the job opportunities in our market, right? So it's basically the market for designers, okay, are still quite wide because by having pandemic right now, it won't stop the designers from producing the artworks or designs. So we are quite aware that all the designers are working from home because they still can work with their laptops and the computers, because the only stuff that we need to design by using the software. So like for example, Adobe. So there is no way for us to say that our market has been decreased in terms of the job opportunities is quite wide still. So for both, actually, not only for multimedia design, it's same goes to visual communication design as well. Okay, we can't just focus with graphic design. We have a lot more. For example, photographers, video editors, animators, illustrators. So those those opportunities are still wide for especially for our fresh graduates, because 85% of our internship students were hired with the company by the company right after they finished their internship.
I see. What example jobs are there available currently for graduates of multimedia design?
Like what I said, a video editor, multimedia designers, motion designer, photographer, storyboard artist, illustrator, animator, and few more, a lot more. Those are the basics for fresh graduates.
And has demands for these jobs increased since the pandemic?
Still a lot. Like what I said, most of our interns, they were hired with the same company. 85% of them.
85. Okay, that's quite high.
Yeah.
So does anyone here have any questions for visual communication design? Please ask now in the chat. We'll wait a few more minutes.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions about multimedia design, please go ahead, use the chat function. Because from what I can tell, I think students are more eloquent when they use the chat function, more detailed and eloquent. So anyone? Multimedia design? Maybe not, maybe they're still typing. So let's move on for now. Now, the next question will be for Bachelor in Visual Communication Design. What are the demands for graduates for this program? I think it's a very general question again. So visual communication design.
So I think the answer will be the same like the first that I have mentioned for multimedia design. Okay, but this time maybe I can answer it for visual communication design itself. So for visual communication design, it is more to printed based productions of design. It's different than multimedia because it's more to this digital or screen based. So in visual communication design, most of our students they are hired as graphic designers. Okay, will work with advertisement for photography as well, for product packaging design. So it's quite easy to be hired because this is the basic needs in creative design departments where you need to design and print out all the materials. And to compare with multimedia design, it's not that it's not quite we cannot compare a lot. It's quite similar because these both programs are working in the one field actually. So if the question is, I think for demands is still quite the same for with my previous answer.
All right, thank you. Now let's move on for the Bachelor of Psychology. Bachelor of Psychology. This is interesting because I believe when we had the ADP program, we had psychology too. Now it's back, right? So my question here is, will there be an increased demand for mental health workers in Malaysia? So who would like to answer that?
Hi,
Bachelor of Psychology. Oh, Mr. Ng. Okay.
Yeah,
please,
hi.
Please do.
Yeah, so to answer that questions, I will actually say yes. You know, looking at what's happening, we are always in demand for mental health professions. You know, in Malaysia itself, and with what happens and then the pandemic, I think it brought up a greater awareness of the needs for mental health professions. You know, it's not only for people who have severe mental health disorders, but you know, as a human being, and then we are coping with a lot of stress, especially at these situations. And then I think it brought up an even greater awareness on the demands and the needs of mental health. So in looking at what's happening, you know, in the society right now, I would very confidently say that yes, we have a great demand of mental health workers in Malaysia.
So what are the career prospects for fresh graduates?
All right. So for Bachelor of Psychology is actually setting up platforms, you know, for whoever who are interested in, you know, further and pursue into mental health professions, um, to actually venture into more specializing area. For example, if you're going to be a licensed counselor, then you will need to actually take a step further into master in counseling in order to actually interview and get your license to be practiced. And then if you are more passions into mental health disorders, then you can actually pursue into clinical psychology. Meaning to say you have to take a master in clinical psychology in order for you to practice. So Bachelor of Psychology set as a platform for the students to, you know, explore different specialized area in psychology. So that give them a better understanding of what would the specialized area that they want to venture into, so they can actually pursue with more confidence. So that is what was their career prospect and also the pathway.
But what about the immediate work prospects after graduation?
Okay, so if they are passions in mental health profession, so they have to actually venture into, you know, pursue the masters. What else for students who are still probably not sure about what they wanted to do, they can actually go and, you know, work with a Bachelor of Psychology. There are increasing demands in different sectors such as HR. You know, they like students with psychology knowledge to help them, especially in recruitment, in developmental, like helping them to actually plan for trainings and etc. With, you know, psychology informations like assessments, like personality tests, those knowledge will help them to do a better screening in terms of recruitment. So they do like people with HR to actually, you know, with some knowledge and Bachelor of Psychology backgrounds. And we have people who with Bachelor of Psychology venture into marketing because of the knowledge of, you know, how to grasp people's attentions. So they added those values into the company. So yeah.
I see. Thank you very much. We
Yeah.
do have some impromptu questions here. One from a student named Rehan. I think he's asking about visual communication degree again. He just started asking. Just out of curiosity, may I know more about the portfolio that is required for entering the visual communications degree?
Oh, okay. So the portfolio is only be required if you didn't have art subject during your SPM if you're local students. So basically for international students, yes, we will be you are required to send your portfolio for art assessment. Yep.
Okay. Now I do have another question by Lovisha asking about psychology, Mr. Ng. All right.
All right.
So she asked about what are the payment structure like? Is there availability for PTPTN loans, and is there internship after degree?
All right. Okay. Thank you, Lovisa, for asking that. The payments at PTPTN, I think I'll leave it to Yogesh to answer. What else for the internship? It's not after the degree. It's actually part of the degrees. It's in the programs itself, and we designed to be having it at the last year and the last semester, so that, you know, like the cases that we encounter where the students mostly secure their jobs during their internship. So we do not want the student to miss out that opportunity. So we purposely put it in the last semester, so, you know, they can secure their jobs even before they graduate. So yes, there is an internship in the program itself.
I see. And now, Mr. Yogesh, would you mind explaining about the payment structure and potential PTPTN loans for psychology?
Okay, sure. Okay, for Bachelor of Psychology, total fee will be RM 70,100 ringgit, 70100. Okay, PTPTN maximum can loan up to 39,900. So the balance can pay on monthly basis, which will be 810 ringgit.
Yeah, okay. Right. So, all right, Lovisha, are you okay with that answer? So PTPTN only covers half, and the rest, the other half that is not covered by loan will be paid monthly. Is that okay, Lovisha? Yes, waiting for Lovisha here. Yes, all right, thank you. Now let's move on for the Bachelor of Education, Dr. Lydia. All right, how has modern education changed and how can I adapt to it? I think again, it's all about pandemic, right? How has
modern education? Yeah, actually, now we are talking about how to move forward with education in a post-COVID world. A lot of researchers and experts are already exploring ideas, and in fact, UNESCO has already published a report on education in a post-COVID world. If you Google, I think you might find, and they also gave some ideas and suggestions for public action, for international education communities. Some of the issues they raise, of course, I think technology, people have grappled with the idea of how to use it after 1.5 years into it. Quite a lot of people have found ways to conduct lessons online, but there are many issues associated with it. For example, how to reach all children, because we have subscribed to education for all. So that means all children include children who are disadvantaged in terms of where their location is, where in terms of financial, in terms of family support, and in terms of their social and economic assistance. Like yes, you can have technology, but children have no laptop or smartphone to study. So how are you going to handle these situations? So these are some of the challenges. Of course, the teacher's role is to provide lessons. So of course, these questions are big questions, big problems that of course the whole country has to resolve, not only the teachers. So the government, the Ministry of Education, the administrators have to work around it. Of course, private schools and international schools, they have a little bit more autonomy, and they probably are well-resourced, so they are able to quickly channel the funds where the needs are. For example, if the teachers need the online learning resources, they will supply them, they will buy them. But if you are running a whole country in charge of all the schools, and with all the children and teachers' need in mind, it's a little bit more difficult. There are also other issues raised. For example, the lessons, the curriculum has to be redesigned, because the way in the past is like they have to follow certain modules and texts and chapters, and they have to go and prepare for the exams. But now it is a little bit difficult, and many secondary students also are dropping out because they are not able to follow the lessons. Either they don't have Wi-Fi, or they don't have the gadget, or they don't like to sit in online environment. They still like to see the human faces, human touch, personal touch. So therefore, it also bring to another point, as many people realize and appreciate the role of teachers. Because they know that they play a very critical role in the children's learning. Yes, parents try to do it, but if you do it 365 days, people get tired as well. So yeah, they start to respect the teachers, how they have coped with their children on a day-to-day basis. So in terms of financing, in terms of inequality, in terms of addressing the children's needs in different communities are some of the challenges. But of course, the government and many of the school operators are learning the ropes. So I think by the time you graduate and going into the workforce, I think the world has resettled into the new normal. So yeah, but we are learning as well. So during the 3-year program, we try to get the students also to adapt to the new norm as well in how we deliver the lessons online. And in the past, we used to go to the schools physically to get the students, to give them a lot of experience working with children. But now we are sourcing a lot of online delivery opportunities for the students so that they can get used to online teaching. So these are some of the things that we learn. Thank you. I hope I answered the questions.
All right. So a question here posted by Dr. Chong, but I believe she got the questions from other students. A question from students for IT. How is cybersecurity different from IT? And which has better career prospects?
Yes.
Cecile?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cybersecurity, the difference between cybersecurity and IT. So actually, at the title itself, it suggests to you that cybersecurity is part of IT, but is focused on the security part. And looking at the current situation, especially during the pandemic, so the cybersecurity attack have been increased 80%, I think, throughout this 1 year of lockdown. So that's why a lot of industry and also companies and also individuals are looking at the importance of cybersecurity now. So cybersecurity, difference between cybersecurity and IT is IT will be looking at the general aspect. So they will cover more IT like computer networks, computer programming, data management, okay, information management. But cybersecurity will be focused on the security part. So they were talking about, when they talk about networking, when they talk about system, they will focus on the security part of the IT. So for example, like information management. If you come into cybersecurity, the information management of cybersecurity will be focusing on how you secure your informations rather than how the information is being stored and managed. So it's focusing on how you secure it. So when it comes into networking, it will be looking at how you secure the network so that the hackers will not able to penetrate into your network. But in IT, it will be focusing on the operations, how you make sure the network is working, rather than, of course, it will touch a little bit of how you secured it, but not in details. The cybersecurity will be focused on the security part, so it will put more contents and details into the how you secure the IT solutions.
All right. So relating to IT again, can I work in the field of cybersecurity if I do IT or vice versa? I think you already answered that. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now a question for architecture. Right? Architecture.
Yes.
If I do interior architecture, I can work in this field, or will the industry accept me for general architecture? So would like to answer that?
Okay. Hi. Thank you for the question. Is Bashira from architecture. So if you're doing interior architecture, there's a hierarchy of working, I would say working hierarchy, where if you are learning architecture, you can definitely do interior architecture because there's a subset of what we're learning in architecture relating to interior architecture. But if you are learning architecture upon graduation, you cannot go into architecture. You have to add on extra years to learn about architecture because the scope is bigger. So I think that will be the easiest way of looking at it.
Okay. Now, question about quantity surveying. from the students, can I do this, I mean quantity surveying, if my mathematics is not good? Does quantity surveying have a lot of calculations?
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Farhan from Quantity Surveying Department program. Okay, so basically to answer this question, yes, we do have a lot of calculation in QS, but most of them are actually you only need to have basic mathematics skill on it. But the most important thing is that you need to have what I call that, a good knowledge on how to read the drawing so that you can start to measure. So that's all. So if you have, it's not like what I call that in your high school where you have what I call that additional mathematics. It's not that hard. It's not that hard compared to what I call it QS. It's just on plus, minus, divide, times, all that. It's just that you need to be what I call that. You need to be familiar with the drawings so that you can interpret whatever in the drawing into the quantity. That's all. But to answer your question is yes, it have lots of calculation, but it's not that hard. Meaning that if you have simple mathematics, sufficient, it's okay already.
I see. All right. So a question from Rehan again. For degrees such as BMC or BEPR, or Mass Communication or Public Relations, are there different pathways available? For example, 2+1. I believe you're talking about years, right? So Mr. Ismawi, would you like to answer this one?
No, this is for, I think, Miss Rubana.
Oh, Miss Rubana.
BEPR is for Mr. Ismawi and BMC is for Miss Rubana.
For BMC program, it is a double degree award with University of Central Lancashire. We haven't had any students who actually opted for a 2+1 on this program. Usually it's a 3+0, so all the 3 years are done at SEGI, but the students will be awarded 2 certificates, one from SEGI University and another one from University of Central Lancashire, UK.
Mr. Ismawi, what of BEPR, English and Public Relations?
Yeah, very similar. The structure is very similar to Bachelor of Mass Comm. So it's a 3.0 dual award with University of Central Lancashire as well.
I see. All right. So, okay, you're welcome, Rehan. So Dr. Cheong has added more questions from other students. How do we add on the subjects needed for architecture if I already have BIA? What should I do? Do I need to register for AR program again? Another question.
Yes.
Must my drawing skill be good?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So similarly to interior architecture, for architecture, you also need to have a good drawing skill, but we're not expecting you to be like Picasso or anything, obviously. But once that you have, as you said, you already have bachelor in interior architecture, so I'm sure that your drawing skill is okay, at par is what we wanted. In order for you to add on subjects, for architecture, you have to enroll since semester 1 again, because it's a requirement from the Board of Architecture Malaysia that you will have to have minimum 3 years of architecture studies in order for you to qualify to become a architect with part 1. We call it as degree of architecture.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, there's no shortcut, I would say.
Would anyone would like to come in with any questions? Now's your chance. All right. So another question. Can I ask about quantity surveying again? How long is the internship? Quantity surveying.
Okay. So for the internship, we have 6 months of internship. Will be the on semester 2, year 3. So 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
Yes.
6 months. Is that the standard or is that the maximum? 6 months, Mr. Farhan?
That one is standard.
Standard. Everyone must do 6 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else with any questions before we can call it a day? Any final questions?
Hi, Zarin.
Yes.
There's another question from the students again to BIA and architecture. Just now Ms. Bashira said that the student is supposed to do the architecture again if the student wants to do architecture. But let's say the student tries to ask, if let's say the student instead of doing BIA, but now completes architecture, does the student needs to register BIA one more time? Let's say if he wants to focus on interior architecture later on.
Let's see.
Sorry, come again. That was quite a long question.
Yeah, Ms. Bashira, the student actually asked, because just now you say that if the students already completes, let's say BIA, and if he wants to do the architecture, he's supposed to register from semester 1 again for the architecture program.
Yes.
So he's
Yes,
asking, can he do it the other way around? Meaning to say that he do the architecture, okay, you do the architecture, but later on, let's say if he wants to venture into the interior architecture, does the same principle apply? Does he need to go for BIA from first sem again?
No, because if you do architecture, then probably when you, upon graduation, you decided to become an interior architect, you do not need to go through the interior architecture study anymore. You can just straight away practice as an interior architect.
Thank you, Ms. Bashira, and thank you, Mr. Farhan, for answering the question on PQS again. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have a few final questions, very quick one. Fiona asked, how long is the internship for education, Dr. Lydia?
We call it practicum. When they are sent to school for teaching, practice as a practicing teacher. So we have 20 weeks of practicum. That means they have to be posted to school about 20 weeks. In year 1, they do like a school-based experience, just 2 weeks. And in the final year, semester 2 and 3 in year 3 will be when they are doing their practice.
Let's see. All right, now Karen again asked about Bachelor of Education again. About swapping part-time and full-time in case life stuff comes up. Is that possible? Is it possible to swap part-time to lifetime? I'm sorry, full-time.
Lifetime, yes,
Sorry.
lifetime. Lifelong learning. Yes, you can actually swap from full-time to part-time, but if you are a scholar, you are restricted by the scholarship. That is the only reason. If you are not a scholarship holder, where you are required to complete your programs in 3 years, if not, your scholarship will be withdrawn. So if you are not a scholarship holder, if you are a PT/PTN student, there's no reason why you can't do it part-time. That's not a problem.
Okay. Fortunately, Karen asked if it's outside scholarship. All right, she said thank you. All right.
Thank you.
So anyone else, any questions? If there are no more questions, I think we can end it right here. If you happen to have any more questions in the future, you know who to contact, right? These individuals right here, or you can ask your counselors directly from the sales and marketing department, yeah? Or you can contact your future potential faculties directly, right? You can just call, meet someone, ask more questions, right? For now, you may have some time to think about what you want to do, or you may want to do. So we have a lot of programs here for you. Right? We have hospitality, business, accounting, multimedia, visual communication, mass communication. What else do we have here? Okay. Psychology, English and public relations, education, architecture, quantity surveying, IT. Right? I see Mr. Lopez has shared his email. So for the rest of you participants, would you kindly share your emails that you would like to share in the chat? Please share your emails so that the students can contact you directly, or share any emails from other representatives from your faculty that you would like the students to contact you. All right, so we have Bonnie Lopez for hospitality, Mr. Ismawi for English and PR. So the rest, all the representatives here, please share your email or other representative emails in the chat, please.
While
So the rest of the students?
Yeah. While the representatives are entering the email, I would like to record my appreciation to all the representatives from the faculties. Thank you very much for your support today. I think we have got a very informative session for our students. I believe our students have got all their questions answered. In future, if there are any questions from students, we'll definitely direct it to you. And we hope that you'll be willing to, I'm sure you'll be willing to help them. Thank you very much and take care and stay safe, everyone, while we're waiting for the email to come in. And let's see whether there are any last minute questions in the next, let's say, 3 minutes. Then we can end the session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Farhan.
Thank you,
Mr.
everyone. Thank you, Dr. Chung, for inviting us. Thanks, Irene.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So all students, please refer to the chat. Copy all of the emails that interest you. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. If you have any questions, please direct your questions directly to these individuals. So we have Ms. Rubana here, Ms. Bashira for architecture, Mr. Ng for psychology, Ms. Aziana for, I believe, visual communication, creative design. Yes, creative design. I believe that is everyone, right? Mr. Xiao, you share your email, Mr. Xiao?
Email, is it?
Yes, just put it in the chat, yes. All right. I believe that is everyone, right, Mr. Chong? Dr. Chong, sorry. Dr. Chong? Yes.
I think so, yes. I think we covered everything.
Oh, that's Hannah, yeah, Miss Hannah, yeah. That is everyone. All right, thank you very much, everyone, students too. Again, any questions, just ask these individuals directly. Thank you for joining us today. Hopefully we have answered some of your questions, burning questions. Thank you. Bye.
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 Stay safe.